All right, Coach. So week two, Coach's Show, Biloxi High versus Poplarville this week at Poplarville. Going to be aired on the NFHS network for those of you guys who can't make the trip. But 1-0, Coach. Good week this week. I'm sure we have plenty of things to learn on, but overall a pretty good week. So tell me what you thought about week one.
It's definitely good to get a win and have that under your belt and especially considering we had such a good crowd and first time really amping up the atmosphere, and I thought the administration and the kids did such a good job with that, and the fans and the band, cheer and dance, everybody that's involved. Thought it was great, and I'm just glad we were able to get out of there with a win. Made a lot of mistakes, but it's a typical first game, and there's some things. All the mistakes we made, I think, are very fixable going into this week, and we'll see where we are going into this week and moving forward. But definitely happy with being 1-0, and definitely happy with winning a game versus a very quality opponent.
Special teams. Player of the week, I think, was Jace Cummins.
Yeah.
Talk about special teams and what you saw. What you think we need to fix.
Yeah, Jace does a good job for us. He's on I think all of them. He ran down on kickoff, was one of our best guys on kickoff. He just gives so much effort. That's the big thing about Jace, and he's going to be he'll be a starter in due time, whether it's by the end of this year or definitely by next year for sure, I believe. And he's just got some learning to do, but he's a great player and he gives a lot of effort. A lot of things we need to improve on. We can talk about special teams. At the beginning of the game, we took the ball first. We wanted to see what we could do, but fumbled the kick and that, and a lot of that was our fault for putting people in a situation that we didn't need to put them in. But that's something that we bounced back from. The defense came out there and did a good job, got a 4 and out, and the offense ended up scoring on the next drive. So that was very good. Kickoff team still a little shaky. I think we're definitely going to improve there this week. We had some bad fits and things like that. I think Kai may have had a bad. You didn't place one of them where you need to place it. Punt was atrocious, but we're better. We're better than that. There's some things we're going to be able to fix there. I believe this week going in, or that we better fix. To be honest with you, because our defense was on a short field all night long, considering our special teams was so bad. And I was very proud of them for the effort they put forth. They played a lot of plays. They had to get tough, and they showed some toughness with that group. So very proud of our defense for holding tight and all the short fields they were on, only giving up 14, and the amount of plays they played, only giving up 14 I thought was a tremendous victory.
Offense, Dale J. Bailey was player of the week. I thought, I know we had some misses on some catches. I know we probably would have liked to seen. Had a great run, late in the game with the touchdown run. So tell me what you really saw in our offense.
The one thing that I think everybody saw was we're very explosive. We're not, usually, I think in the past couple of years we've been we've been an offense that had to drive. We weren't as good in the passing game, and this year we got 2 really good long receivers. We got a quarterback that can get it to them. So you're seeing more explosiveness out of our offense, and I think we broke. The run was probably from about 25 out. The 2 passes were over 50, and so that was good to see guys making plays in the open field. We got to get a little bit better in our run game. It ain't going to get any easier this week because the defense we're facing this week is very, very good. But we got to clean some things up in the run game. We missed some blocks here and there, but I think we'll get it fixed eventually.
I think the offensive line looked pretty good. Looking at the way that Pierce and 26 Pierce and Took, I thought they had some good runs, had some good holes to run through. How do you see East Central as compared to maybe a D'Iberville or Ocean Springs on their D line? Do you think that was a pretty good D line?
That was a very good defense. You look at. You compare them to what they did. They played Poplarville the week before in just a half, and Poplarville didn't move the ball on them at all. So they weren't great in the secondary, but their front 7 was they weren't huge, but they were very, very quick, and that's what kind of gave our offensive line some problems. Their quickness, and they were obviously very well coached. They knew how to read guards, knew how to get to where they were supposed to be, and they were very, very downhill. And they were violent, for lack of a better term, very, very violent. So it was good to go against that and see that and see how we were able to overcome. We did get them on some misdirection things. late, and then the quarterback sneak off the arc motion kind of got the backers to fly out of there, and that's how we got a score, a 25-yard score off a quarterback sneak. So that was they were a very good defense, very good test for us early, and year in year out, East Central would be a top 4 team in our division year in year out, and they'll be a good team this year. They'll make a little run in the playoffs, and they're a good team, but very well coached.
Let's talk about our defense. Thomas Patterson leaving obviously had a big hole, but it seemed like we were saying that Ethan DeMatos' name a lot, and I know Augie had some big tackles. How'd you feel about our defense?
I thought our defense held up really well. Losing RJ early, just a little strain. We may or may not have him back this week, but he is fine and he'll be back with us soon. But losing him early and seeing how we overcame that, bringing in guys to play. We played a lot of guys. Jace Cummings played a lot. Logan Walker came in and played a lot. Guys that gave us some very, very valuable minutes. And then we practiced a lot of guys at a lot of different places. We try to take guys and teach them 2 different positions each game, so they can help us out in case we ever get into a bind. And we did against East Central because we were playing so many plays. And when you're playing against a wing T offense, you're playing that many plays, it takes a whole lot of effort from a defensive point of view to really fit it up and be gap sound. So I was very, very pleased with our defense, and Coach Lucas's plan was very good. And it'll be very similar this week, so moving forward. But, Ethan, going back to Ethan did a great job. Ethan, like Thomas back in the day, Ethan's been starting since he was a sophomore, seen a lot of football. Augie played a lot last year, so those 2 guys in the middle did well. Braden Ratliff was one that really came along for us. He was our defensive player of the game, 11 tackles, had a sack, had a fumble recovery. He was kind of everywhere, but our defensive line did a good job. Amarion Fillmore did a good job. Aiden Harrison, all those guys, and everybody in the back end. Zadarius Crawford, new guy we had, number 7, got an interception, did a really, really good job staying at home, being where he's supposed to be. So we were happy to see that.
2 things that stood out to me in this game from previous years. Number 1, it seemed like we did maybe a bit better job in preseason of getting them ready. It didn't have as many cramps as we've seen the last couple of years. It's definitely not any less hot.
No.
So, what do you think the difference there was?
To be honest with you, we didn't do a whole lot different than we normally have done. We don't believe in we believe in playing the game of football in practice. Seeing it live, going against the scout team, and then our defense. We make our one offense play the other team's offense every week for our defense to get a really good look. So we bang in practice and things like that, but we don't overdo it. We want to keep our guys fresh. That's what we try to believe in. It's a long season, but I think it comes down to people's body type. I think some people cramp easy and some don't. Some can go all night long and never cramp, and some will go 2 quarters and play 25 plays and cramp. So it's just kind of depends on the body type, the person, and the amount of body fat each person has, and the salt intake that they take throughout the week, and so. We always do a good job of hydrating our players. We give them a little salt packet with the Gatorade starting every Thursday and every Friday, and try to keep that in them. So I think it was as good as it could have been, especially defensively with the amount of plays we played.
The second thing that stood out to me was, and you may not want to talk about this, I'm not sure, but we seemed to be a little undisciplined, especially with our playmakers. We had 3 pretty big 15-yard penalties that really didn't have to happen. As a coach, it's got to be frustrating.
Yeah, very frustrating. That's one of the things that we brought our players up after the game. I didn't want to ruin the moment for them because it was a big moment in winning a game, but we brought them together after, and they understood. Everybody that had that particular, it was mainly a over celebration, being happy that we did something good, but everybody owned up to their mistake. I think you're going to see that fixed. Those are the coachable things that you can fix then, but you can't really fix it till it happens. And so, but we definitely want to see that improve.
So, Poplarville this week, we were supposed to play at Stone. We're playing at Poplarville. Just maybe talk a little bit about Poplarville and what can we expect to see this week from them.
Yeah, they're a very, very good team. Defensively, they'll be one of the toughest, fastest teams we play. They're always going to be where they're supposed to be for the most part, and they're extremely violent on the block and on the tackle. So they'll be tough to run the ball against. So we're really going to have to try to figure out a way to loosen those guys up in order to create a run game. And then offensively, they do what they do. Everybody knows what they do, the traditional wing tee and a lot of overloading and things like that. A lot of what you saw this past week. And so we'll see that again, except we'll be playing against a much bigger, much faster team, and a team, like I said about East Central, a team that this team would finish top 3 in our division year in, year out, and there's not many coaches in our division that would argue with me on that one. They've been to the playoffs they've been to the state championship 4 out of the last 5 years, I believe it is. So they come from a lot of tradition, and this will be a very good test for us. And we look forward to it because we want to be a program like that. We want to be that type of program, and in order to do that, we need to play those programs, and that's what we're doing.
So the final thing I have for you, Coach, as we look around the district, some of the big guys in our district really kind of struggled this week. You had Gulfport won late in the fourth quarter. Ocean Springs went to double overtime, and D'Iberville squeaked one out. So, obviously week 1, everybody's kind of learning what they got, what they don't. What does that tell you?
Well, you're talking about, just the 3 you mentioned. D'Iberville played, Moss Point's always tough. They're a very athletic team that can really do some damage to you with their athletes. That doesn't really shock me that much that was close. Clinton and Ocean Springs, obviously 2 top 10 teams going at it, and it ended in double overtime. So I think both of those teams can be proud of where they are with that. Pearl's always a good team, playoff team up north. Went to the state championship, I think it was two years in a row. I think it was 3 and 4 years ago. Won one of them, so they come with a lot of history. So they play some top quality opponents, and I think all those teams will be happy with the victories they had.
A couple quick housekeeping notes. I'll give you the last word here, but I did mention that we're going to have this game covered on NFHS Network. Elton and I are going to go up there and do that, and so please join. If you hadn't joined, I think it's $69 for the entire year. You get every sport. You can go back and rewatch them. It's a great deal. So I would encourage you guys to do that. Finally, on a personal note, my company's working with Knight Transportation, is working with Biloxi Public Schools to do some gathering of needed things for the guys in Louisiana. So if anyone wants to donate any kind of goods, tarps, anything like that, waters, food, dry foods, new clothes, we have a trailer here at the high school. It's going to be open from 7 to about 4:30 every single day. We also have one at our office, which is on County Farm Road, just north of the Loves in Gulfport. So come by, donate, please. We're gonna move that out then next week. And Coach, final words from you. What do you say going into Poplarville this week?
Well, first of all, I think what you're doing is a great thing and at the school, and I think everybody that's helping out with that and we all need to help out with that as best we can. Going into Poplarville, it's going to be a very, very tough game, one of the toughest games we play all year. It's going to be a great test for us and knowing what we need to improve on moving forward, and a very, very winnable game for us, and we look forward to it. We really need you to be there. I know we got a bus taking kids there. They have a very small stands there, so it'll be tough. It'll be packed in tight, and y'all be right on top of the team on the sideline. So. Let's all do this together. Let's show up and let's root on the Indians.
Good deal. Thank you, Coach. Good luck.
Absolutely.